Okay, I've got a confession to make. I've been playing golf for years. I'm off a handicap of 4 and I have a driver's swing speed of around 110 miles per hour. I work in golf. I've been around golf for a long time and I still don't really have any idea what golf ball that I need to use.
There's so much marketing around the highest ball speed, the longest golf ball here, the softest feeling, the highest spinning, but really, what does it come down to? I want to try and gain a bit more of an understanding exactly what it is with each golf ball that makes a difference. And today we're going to be learning about compression. I don't know too much about it, so I'm going to try and learn with you guys and let's learn together. So let's delve into the details of what compression is and how it might affect the end results of the golf ball.
So first, what actually is golf ball compression? So researching a little bit about compression, it basically measures how much the golf ball squashes against the face at impact. A lower compression golf ball squashes more, while a higher compression ball stays firmer and doesn't deform as much. Now, the idea is if you've got a slower swing speed, you might not compress a high compression golf ball enough to get the most out of it. So a softer, lower compression golf ball can help you launch it higher and get a bit more distance. On the other hand, if you swing it faster, like over 100 miles an hour with the driver, a higher compression golf ball can give you a more efficient energy transfer, a consistent ball flight, and generally more control. So I'm going to ask my girlfriend what type of compression golf ball she thinks I should use. She knows nothing about golf, so this will be an interesting result to see what she thinks I should use.
Oh God.
So there's 3 different types of compression golf balls.
Right.
There's a low compression, mid compression, and high compression. Low compression is for someone with a slower swing speed, so it squishes easier. So when you hit it slower, it will squish and then rebound more. But if someone with a high swing speed uses the low compression golf ball, it squishes too much and you don't get enough out of it.
Okay.
So a higher swing speed needs a higher compression golf ball. My swing speed with a driver is around about 110 miles per hour, which is higher than most. What type of compression golf ball do you think I should use? The type of compression golf ball I'm currently using is mid to high end, and it's a TaylorMade TP5. So which one do you think I should use based on the information I've just given you? And this is without testing. If I was literally just going by literature and research rather than testing, what would you buy for me?
Oh bloody hell! I don't know. I've got no clue.
I just explained though.
Yeah, but I don't know what brands or different
No,
types
not
are.
brands.
Oh, God.
Just low, mid, or high.
Low, mid, or high. I'm gonna go mid.
Okay.
Play it safe.
Would you have said mid?
So I'm going to be testing 3 different types of golf balls. The first one will be on the lower end of the scale. So we're going with the Callaway Supersoft. This is basically pushed towards someone with a lower swing speed. So it's a golf ball which is easier to compress. We're going to go for something in the middle, which is a TaylorMade TP5, a golf ball that I am very familiar with. I've been using this for most of the year. And then we're going something the complete opposite end of the scale, something which is very high compression. So I believe the Titleist Pro V1X left dash is in the 100. So this is something which requires a high swing speed to be able to compress the golf ball. Let's find out exactly what is the difference between each of these at my swing speed, which is around 108, 110 mile an hour swing speed with a driver. I'm going to hit 5 shots with a gap wedge, 5 shots with a 7-iron, and 5 shots with driver. And let's see what the end results are and hopefully give you and myself a bit more of an understanding what type of compression golf ball is required for yourselves and for myself. So starting off with Callaway Supersoft and my gap wedge, obviously going to hit 5 with each. And I've labelled everything here as well. So we should be able to see all the ball flights and be able to analyse all the data afterwards. But let's go with 5 shots with gap wedge. Cool, that's gone far. Actually felt quite nice. Felt quite firm. At the toe. Definitely seems to be going further than a normal golf ball. Than my normal golf ball. One more with the Supersoft. So whilst it's still fresh in the memory, I would say the Supersoft actually felt quite nice. It definitely doesn't feel soft. It feels firm. You'd think with the name it would feel very spongy and very soft, but I wouldn't say that it does. Right, moving on to the TaylorMade TP5. So I believe the compression rate is around 85 with this, which is about the mid-level. I mean, centre line job. This is a golf ball I'm very familiar with. Definitely seems to come out straighter. I don't know if that's got anything to do with the compression at all, or if it's just based on how I'm swinging it. Okay, that's the TaylorMade TP5. I have to admit that felt quite similar to the Supersoft. Wasn't much in it, but I do prefer the feel of that, I would say. On to the Titleist Pro V1X left dash, and already by moving the golf ball there, it sounds very clicky. This is the highest compression that I could find. I believe this is over 100 in compression rate. It's more of a scale, it's not necessarily 100 measurements from what I understand. But let's see how this feels, see how this goes. Definitely felt different, sounded different as well. Definitely feels firmer, I would say. With moving the ball around, you can really hear the difference of that one. It sounds much firmer. So I might do a little bit at the end of this video where I do a few chips just to see how that feels. I know you're all loving to see me yip it at the end. I'm sure golf ball can't help me with that. Yeah, it definitely feels a lot firmer. Yeah, way firmer. So call that one a little bit thin. Don't know if you can tell on camera, guys, but the noise is very different as well. Right, guys, that is the end of the wedge. Let's move on to 7-iron now. Going back into the Supersoft, see how this comes out. I don't know if it's a coincidence, psychological or what, but the Supersoft does seem to come out left. Seems really weird. Not gonna lie, it does feel nice. For a cheap budget golf ball, it does feel very nice. It'd be interesting to see the results. It looks like it's coming out quite low and low spin without actually looking at it. That was thin. Still decent. It's gone miles. That's heavy. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Right, that is all of the Supersoft. Again, not gonna lie, that actually felt really nice. Just seems like it's coming out a bit too far, so I would think it's coming out a little bit too low spin, but we'll see shortly after. Let's go on to the TP5. That's out the toe. Yeah, it definitely feels like that's coming out shorter, because that one I struck quite nicely, slightly open club face. Right, two more. All right, that's going to be an anomaly one because that's come out low and left. We're going to try and keep all of them in there, but if there are the odd shot which seems to be skewing the figures, we will take those out. Better, more like it. A little fade down the middle. Okay, one thing I've noticed there is that definitely seems to be coming out shorter in carry and total distance than the Supersoft. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily. Right, moving on to Pro V1X left dash. See if this feels any different. To be honest, the Supersoft and the TP5 don't feel that different. They feel pretty similar, I would say. Let's see what this one feels like. See, that feels better with a 7-iron than it does a gap wedge. And that seems like it's come out a better distance as well. Definitely seems more of a penetrating ball flight than the TP5. So far, from feel, my pick would be this with the 7-iron, feel-wise, out of the three. This feels really nice with the 7-iron. Just feels solid. Even that one, which wasn't struck the best, just comes out nice. Just feels powerful, this golf ball. The one thing I'd worry about this, just from the feel of it, is around the greens. I don't know if it would give you confidence that it's going to spin. I might be wrong. We'll do a little test at the end with that. I have to admit, that with a 7-iron, that might be one of the nicest feeling golf balls I've hit with a 7-iron. I've never hit a left dash before. Very much enjoyed hitting that. Right, we're going to keep the tee height consistent just to avoid any other variables. So back to driver now with a Supersoft. A little bit out the toe. More the shot I'd normally hit at the moment. A little bit of a fade down there. I'm not going to lie, guys. I think this might be the first time I've ever hit a Callaway Supersoft, and I've been pleasantly surprised. For a budget golf ball, the tests I've done so far, it actually feels really good for the price. Out the toe again. One thing I would say is what I mentioned on the first part. Definitely doesn't feel like a soft golf ball. Wouldn't say it feels like rock hard, but it feels sort of middle ground. It feels decent. Oh, there's my flail. Got a bit of everything in there. It's accurate testing. Oh, that was such a bad strike. I'm going to keep these bad strikes in there because it's interesting to know what happens with the golf ball on a bad strike. Right, on to the TP5. Let's see how this performs with driver. Again, as mentioned before, it's the golf ball that I have used majority of the last couple of years, so sort of know how this performs, but the models do vary from year to year slightly. That was straight out the toe. Looks like it's a higher ball flight already. And that's literally, without going into the details, but that has gone so much further, and I did not hit that out the middle. That was a high toe draw somehow. If you look at my club path there, out to win, and I've hit a draw. That's all to do with strike that. Definitely with this golf ball, from 2 shots in, it's going way further. That is not how far I normally hit a driver, just to let you guys know. But this is a fair comparison because we are on the sim with all 3 golf balls. When I hit this half decent, this golf ball, it definitely seems to go higher than the Supersoft. Okay, there's my push one. Again, higher ball flight. Definitely seems to be getting out there better. Again, even higher. Question is that too high? Right, that was the most interesting part so far from my side. Immediate difference in the total length of driver. beforehand, those two golf balls didn't seem much different. In fact, the Supersoft seemed like it was going further with wedge and 7-iron, which for me isn't a good thing. I'd rather keep the distances consistent. But this is the first time I've ever hit a left dash with driver, so let's see how this goes. Again, that TP5, that felt solid with driver, I have to admit. Similar height to the TP5, but that's come out hotter. Right, that's at the heel. Be interesting to see the flight on this one. Okay, that was not a great swing. Can't quite get a good one so far. So I haven't really hit a good one just yet. Alright, that was a better hit. That was a much better hit. A little bit across it, but better contact. Okay, that was not good. It's my flail. Some tired swings now. We're going to do one more. Last one with Pro V1X and we'll see the results. That was the best hit with the Pro V1X so far. Definitely looks more forward. But I don't think that's coming out as good as the TP5. All right, let's have a quick look at all the balls. To be honest, none of them really look like they're hit so far. One observation I will make is that the Supersoft definitely looks dulled down in terms of, it looks off-white. Don't know if that's normally how it comes, but apart from that, the wear on all of them looks pretty good, I'd say. So let's delve into the results of each club with each ball and see what the difference are between each ball, if there are any differences. I'm sure there are. And then at the end of the video, I'll put myself on 60 to 70, maybe 80-yard hole and see what the feel is like and the control with each ball. The average spin rate for the Supersoft with gap wedge was 8,781. It looks like as soon as I went into the Pro V1X, it went to 10,115, and then into the TP5, 10,200. So TP5 and Pro V1X, spin rates were pretty much where I would want them with the gap wedge. The Supersoft definitely is about 1,500 lower than what I would want. And because of that, carry came out at 119 and total 125. The carry of the Pro V1X left dash 118, total 122, and then the TP5 120 carry 124 total. So normally my gap wedge is around my 120 club. If I'm going to use the Supersoft with my gap wedge, it's looking like that will give me a lot less control with the gap wedge. Let's also just have a quick look at ball speed. So ball speed was 95.6 with Supersoft, 95.3 with Pro V1X left dash, and 97 with TP5. So that's a massive difference. And that's actually with a miss strike here, the 93 in there. So if we disabled that one, then yeah, the average goes up to almost 99. So that is very interesting with gap wedge. And to be honest, I don't really worry too much about ball speed with a wedge. It's more about control and trying to dial in a distance. And if I was to pick one of those just based on gap wedge, it would be either Pro V1X, left dash, or TP5. Going into the 7-iron, let's have a look at the spin rates again with the Supersoft. The spin rate is way down from where I would want it. For a 7-iron, to keep it basic, I'm looking around 7,000 RPM, and that's coming out at 5,200. The Pro V1X left dash is a bit better. That's coming in at 5,900, but still a little bit low from where I would want it. And then the TP5 comes in at 6,500, so that's almost where I would want that. That's not far off at all. And let's go into the ball speed now. Ball speed of the Supersoft, 122 average. 124 average with Pro V1X left dash, and 123.2. So the ball speed is definitely up for the Pro V1X left dash. It's just the spin rate is a little bit down of where I would want it to give me a bit more control. So let's take a look at the overall distance, the carry number and the total distance. With Supersoft, 175 carry, which is normally about my distance with a 7-iron. And 187 total. Obviously, this is hitting into a fairway, not into a green. 176 average carry with the Pro V1X left dash with a 186 total distance. And then definitely the carry is a little bit down on the TP5, 171 total, 171 carry with 180 total. Admittedly, there were a couple of miss strikes in there. We've got 119. That first one there was a miss hit. So let's just take that out. 172. And then I believe that bottom one was a slight miss strike. So we're about there, 174, 183. But one thing I would say is the spin rate does seem a lot better with the TP5. But from feel, I did really like the Pro V1X left dash feel-wise, and this might be a ball that I could use in the winter. I'm going to do a video on that, whether you should change your golf ball from summer to winter based on the conditions, because I think that's an interesting video as well. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see that. And then going into driver, this is where I saw the biggest difference in real time. And looking at the Supersoft, the spin rate was not bad at all, 2,400, and that was pretty consistent. Never got above 3,000, which is good. 2,300 with TP5, so a little bit better there. Had a couple there under 2,000, which don't mind too much as long as it doesn't creep under 1,500. But yeah, 1,900 and 1,600 are very good spin rates to try and optimize some distance. And actually, this is very interesting. So the Pro V1X left dash, and again, this could be due to strike. In fact, I know this one's due to strike. Let me take that one out. That's 3,200. That was the one I caught at the hill. However, even with that one taken out, the average spin rate for the Pro V1X left dash is 2,700. And I always thought the Pro V1 left dash was a lower spinning golf ball. Again, this could be due to a few missed strikes. However, there wasn't one there which was close to the low 2000s. So that is very interesting. Looking at ball speed, the average ball speed with Supersoft was 155.6. That went up by 5 miles an hour with the TP5. So that's gone up to 160.1. And then with the Pro V1X left dash, that's gone 161.4. So slightly more in terms of ball speed, but the spin rate is what's costing that golf ball. And then let's look at total distance, carry distance and total. So average was 265, rolling out to 286 with the Supersoft. With the TP5, and I noticed this straight away, 279 average carry, and that's with a bad 268 in there, with a rollout average of 300, which for me is very good. Like, to average 300 is, yeah, that's a good day. Moving down to the Pro V1X left dash, average carry is 275, and that's with that bad one taken out, with an average total of 294. So basing my decision on all of that data and all of those golf shots, there's not a huge amount in each one. The main takeaway that I found from that is the Supersoft does not spin enough with a gap wedge or a 7-iron, and that is the same with a 7-iron for the Pro V1X left dash. And the Supersoft is definitely costing me distance with my driver. I think all in all, the golf ball out of all of those three which best suited my swing speed and my deliverance of the golf club is the TP5, which funnily enough is the golf ball, as mentioned, that I have been using for the most amount of time. Now, that is just based on full shots with a gap wedge, 7-iron and driver. I did promise you guys at the end of the video that I would put myself on about an 80 to 90 yard hole so we can actually see how the ball reacts on a proper green in the simulator. And what I'm also going to do is see what the wear is like and durability of each golf ball once I've hit at least 10 wedge shots with each one. So let's head to that hole now. Right guys, well we are on a 90 yard hole now on the driving range on GS Pro. And let's just hit a few with the Supersoft, see how it reacts on the green. And let's have a look at some spin rates there as well. Definitely don't like the feel off the club face with this. But the spin was pretty good, 10,300. That's surprising considering the first part of the test. Yeah, for me that just feels really firm now. And to have that under 9,000 with a lob wedge is a little bit low, I would say. And I think because of the reduced spin rate, it's actually coming out a lot further than what I would want it to with lob wedge. Just doesn't make me feel confident, if that makes sense. And in golf, what you want is a bit of confidence. So after about 8 shots, the ball's actually not too bad. Pro V1X left dash, you can definitely hear the sound difference compared to, can you hear that, guys? See, it's more of a dull. Can you hear the clickiness of that? Anyway, I don't know if you can hear that, but definitely hear it feels and sounds a lot clickier. Oh, did you hear that? It sounded like a shank. I can assure you I didn't shank it, but yeah, I did not like the feel and sound of that with this. No, I hate that. I absolutely hate the sound of that. Don't know if you can hear that on the mic, guys, but that feels and sounds horrible. Which is a shame, because I really liked the feel of that and the sound with the 7-iron. As you can see, that spins a lot more than the Supersoft. I've gained about 1500 RPM. It honestly sounds like a Pinnacle. I mean, it spins a hell of a lot. Go in. Do it. Oh, that's some serious spin on it. Let's have a look at the golf ball. Not bad. You can sort of see it's been hit. There's a little scuff there. Yeah, definitely not as durable as the Supersoft, I'd say, so far. I've got a lot of that golf ball cover on my club face. And let's see what the TP5 is like. Yeah, I much prefer the sound of that. Again, guys, I don't know if that's something more that I'm used to. And the spin has gone up massively. 12,000, not one of the other golf balls hit 12,000 with this. It's 11,700. 12,000 again. That should be good. Spin back in the hole. Oh. Just feels overall the best package out of the 3. Let's have a look at the wear of this one. There's a little scuff there. And I have noticed in the past with the TP5s, they don't always last the longest. Yeah, probably about the same as the Pro V1X left dash. Well, there we have it, guys. I hope that you have found this video interesting. I know that from myself, trying to do a bit of testing and understand exactly what compression is and how it affects the golf ball in terms of my swing, I found it very interesting, and it's definitely put me in the right direction of what type of golf ball I need based on compression. But if you have enjoyed the video, please give it a like below. If you'd like to see a follow-up video and maybe delving into a mid-compression golf ball, because it looks like that is what's probably suited best for me. This is the higher end of the mid-compression range. Obviously, I don't have enough clubhead speed to make the most out of the hard-to-compress Pro V1X left dash, and a bit too much clubhead speed to make the most out of the Supersoft, and it doesn't spin as much. So I would like to try and delve into a little bit more of, is the TP5 the right golf ball for me, or is there a better golf ball? Thinking of also doing a high spin versus low spin golf ball, see what differences come up there. But if there's any other ideas you guys have got that you'd like me to test out or you'd find it interesting, let me know down in the comments below. Again, guys, hope you have all enjoyed this video. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would very much appreciate it if you did. Trying to get to 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible, so I do need your help to get there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers, guys.